Welcome. The Lord's chosen. The most dangerous thing in this world isn't an army or a weapon, it's a mind that refuses to be controlled. From the moment you took your first breath, the game was rigged against you. Not because you were weak, but because you were different. You are among the chosen ones. As the world secretly knows you, you have been targeted since birth. Not by accident, but by design. The powers that be saw something in you that others didn't, the potential that threatens their carefully constructed order. It's not the kind of potential they encourage with gold stars or motivational posters. Know your potential scares them. It has the power to bring down the very systems they've built to keep everyone else asleep. Here's a fact to ponder. Did you know that most revolutions in history were sparked by individuals who were initially deemed crazy, rebellious, or just too stubborn to follow the rules? Now, imagine being born as the embodiment of that spark. That's you. From the start, they've thrown obstacles, labels, and sometimes entire institutions at you. Not because you're wrong, but because you're right. And in all this, there's a strange irony. Their every plot and scheme to contain your brilliance only distracts them from the fact that you are simply out here trying to figure out if Mercury retrograde is the reason your Wi-Fi keeps cutting out. Spoiler alert, it's not. It's just their desperate attempts to keep you distracted. So, if you've ever wondered why life feels like it's been throwing punches before you even learn to block, this is why. You are the most dangerous existence. Not because you're just alive, but because you're awake. You have the ability to see through the illusion, to witness the cracks in the systems that others blindly accept as normal. And here's the truth, the blueprint for change lies within you. From the very beginning, you carried something unique, a blueprint that doesn't fit into the world's rigid boxes. It's not simply talent or intelligence, it's a deep, intrinsic understanding that the way things are isn't the way they're meant to be. This awareness alone makes you a threat to the status quo. You're able to see the brokenness, the unfairness, the inequality, and more importantly, you are wired to fix it. But not with gradual, comfortable change. No. Your calling is to bring seismic shifts. The kind that shake the old, outdated systems to their core and make room for something new. That's why they've been after you since birth. You hold the potential to rewrite the very rules they've worked so tirelessly to enforce. But understand this. This isn't about rebellion for rebellion's sake. This is about creation. You weren't born to simply tear things down, you were born to rebuild. You think in ways that challenge the very foundation of what they've built. Their systems, their empires, they thrive on control. On keeping people small, distracted, obedient. But you were born to dismantle that control, not through violence, not through chaos, but through vision. Your mind isn't just a tool. It's an arsenal. And they know it. That's why they've tried to stop you early. They've built obstacles in your path, designed to stunt your growth, to derail your journey. They've labeled you, confined you, dismissed you. But every time they tried to lock you in, something inside you broke free. Every time they tried to silence you, your voice grew louder. You are not meant to fit into their boxes. You are meant to break them open. To open up new worlds. New possibilities. You are the embodiment of change. The living proof that transformation is not just a dream but a reality waiting to be realized. The powers that be are afraid of you because they can't control you. And the more they try, the more they reveal that their control was never real to begin with. It is your awakening. Your refusal to be contained. That will change everything. You have the capacity to lead others into their own awakening. to guide them into the truth that has always been hidden from them. Your mind, your vision, your heart, they hold the key to freedom. The world may not yet understand this. But you, the chosen, were born to lead it into a new era of understanding, growth, and unimaginable potential. So when they try to stop you, when they label you, when they attempt to sideline your brilliance, remember this: it's not a reflection of your weakness but of your strength. They are afraid of you. And that's why they're trying to control you. But you were never meant to be controlled. You were meant to change the world. And nothing they do can stop the power that's already within you. Stand firm. Because you are the chosen. And your time is now. From the moment you were born, a great scheme was set in motion, designed to drain your energy, your confidence, and ultimately, your belief in yourself. They feed you lies, telling you that you're too much, that you'll never fit in, that you're somehow flawed. Why? Because they know the truth: you are the key to something far greater than what they could ever imagine. If they can convince you to abandon your blueprint, to doubt its value, then they win. But here's the twist: your blueprint isn't just a part of you, it is you. No matter how much they try to suppress it, it remains intact, waiting for the moment when you decide to unleash it. And when you do, the world they've built will never look the same again. You see, they've designed this world to suppress your brilliance, to make you question your worth, to make you feel as though you're too much for the world to handle. They want you to believe that you don't belong, that you're out of place. But all of this is a carefully crafted illusion. And the moment you start to realize your worth, their control begins to slip. You are not meant to fit into the boxes they've drawn for you. You are meant to shatter them. The energy they've poured into trying to diminish you is a reflection of their fear. Fear that when you recognize your true power, nothing in this world will be able to stop you. The truth is, your blueprint is divine. It was designed by a higher power, something far greater than the systems that attempt to control you. And no matter how much they throw at you, obstacles, doubts, distractions, your true essence cannot be erased. It is the very essence that makes you a threat to everything they've built. They want you to doubt, to question, to shrink. But your blueprint is unshakable. It will wait for you, patiently, for the moment when you decide to reclaim it. And when that moment comes, the world they have so carefully constructed will crumble. What they also don't understand is that in trying to suppress your greatness, they've only made you stronger. They've tried to convince you that you're not enough, that you're too sensitive or too much of a dreamer. But what they fail to see is that your sensitivity is not a flaw, it is your superpower. You can perceive things that others cannot, feel things that others choose to ignore. It is this very sensitivity that makes you a force to be reckoned with. They've always tried to label your sensitivity as a weakness, telling you that you were too emotional, too dramatic, that you needed to toughen up. They wanted you to believe that your deep feelings were a liability. But in truth, your sensitivity is what makes you incredibly powerful. You are not just feeling emotions, you are perceiving the world in ways that others cannot even begin to understand. You pick up on subtle energy shifts, hidden emotions, and unspoken truths. And that makes you dangerous to the systems built on deception and illusion. Your ability to perceive what others miss gives you an edge. You are attuned to the energy of the world around you, able to sense the cracks in the systems they've spent so much time perfecting. You are not fooled by their distractions or their lies. You can see through the masks they wear. And that terrifies them. The truth is, they've spent their entire existence constructing stories to protect their illusions. But you walk into a room and without even trying, their masks start to slip. They can feel it. The discomfort that comes from your presence. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. No, it's because you unknowingly hold up a mirror to the lies they've told themselves. The truths they've buried deep within. And when you shine your light, when you step into your power, you force others to confront the truths they've been running from. This is the part they fear most, your ability to expose their shadows, their hidden fears, and their deepest insecurities. You don't have to argue or demand attention. You don't have to raise your voice or make a scene. Your presence alone is enough to shake people to their core. This ability, whether you're aware of it or not, is dangerous to a world built on facades. And the people in power know it. They rely on the fact that most people stay blind to their own potential, obedient to the systems they've built. But you disrupt that balance. You make people question everything they've been taught to accept without thought. They've tried everything to contain you. They've thrown distractions in your path, overwhelmed you with chaos, and flooded your mind with doubt. They've hoped that you'd start to believe their lies. That your sensitivity, your intuition, your brilliance were the problem. But what they don't realize is that your sensitivity is the key to your power. It's not a weakness, it's your ability to connect deeply. To see the humanity in the world around you. To feel the pain and the suffering that others try to ignore. It's the very thing that allows you to heal, to transform, and to make a difference. And here's where they fail, when you finally realize that your sensitivity is not something to be ashamed of. When you understand that it is what gives you the strength to change the world. They will have no power over you. They cannot control someone who is in touch with their true self, with their divine blueprint. They cannot contain the power of a person who embraces their sensitivity, who uses it to light up the world around them. Your presence, your energy, your truth, it's relentless. And it will shine in ways they never saw coming. The systems they've built are fragile. And they know it. They've worked so hard to maintain control, to keep everyone obedient, to keep everyone small. But you were born to break free from all of that. And when you embrace who you are, when you realize that your sensitivity, your perception, your blueprint is the very thing they fear, you will become unstoppable. You are a force that cannot be contained. A power that cannot be suppressed. And when you finally step into the fullness of who you are, the world will never be the same. The shadows will no longer have a hold on you. The light will shine. And nothing can stop it. The world has been waiting for you. For the moment when you reclaim your power. And when that time comes, nothing in this world will be able to stand against you. Here's the truth, everything they've done to try to silence you only made you grow stronger. Your sensitivity, once seen as a weakness, is in fact your superpower, a power they know is about to be unleashed. And when it does, it will change everything. Your sensitivity isn't just a heightened sense of feeling. It's a deep intuition that allows you to see and understand things others can't. You feel the world in ways most don't. And that makes you dangerous to systems built on ignorance and manipulation. As the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you. For my power is made perfect in weakness." This is a reminder that what the world might view as your weakness is precisely where your strength lies. From the beginning, they tried to label your sensitivity as a flaw. They called you too emotional, too dramatic, too much, hoping you would internalize these lies and shrink into the shadows. But they failed to realize that your sensitivity is the key to understanding things beneath the surface. You see the hidden emotions, the shifts in energy, The truths left unsaid. It's almost impossible for people to lie to you because you pick up on the subtle cues they desperately try to hide. This ability isn't a flaw, it's a powerful tool. A gift meant to guide you. And every time they tried to numb you or distract you, they underestimated just how unstoppable you could become once you embraced your true self. They fear what happens when you fully realize your power. Their world was designed to suppress your sensitivity, to make you believe that feeling deeply was a weakness. But as Romans 8 verse 28 tells us, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. The world they've created wasn't meant for someone like you. It wasn't designed for you to see through the cracks, for you to uncover the truth and disrupt their carefully constructed lies. But that's exactly what you're here to do. You were born with the power to awaken the world, to shake it from its apathy, and to lead it towards something better. Your mind is wired differently. While others are stuck in the daily grind, focusing only on what's immediate and obvious, your thoughts soar above it all. You see the bigger picture, the patterns, the connections, and the systems that others overlook. Your understanding of the world is intuitive. And it's this ability to think beyond the surface that makes you a threat to those in power. You see their flaws, their loopholes, the places where their carefully built world is beginning to wobble. It's as though you were born holding the missing pieces to their puzzle. You can't be fooled by the game they play because you know the truth: they can't control you. They can't suppress what you carry inside you. You weren't made to fit into the current systems. You were made to break them. You're not here to accept the status quo or follow rules that keep you small. You're here to rewrite the rules. Governments, economies, hierarchies, they were all designed to maintain power, to keep the majority in line. But you see beyond that. You see a world that works for everyone, not just for a few. You can envision a world that's not based on fear and control, but on freedom, fairness, and empathy. And that scares them because they have no idea how to stop it. The world needs people like you. People who disrupt the systems that are broken and rebuild them into something greater. The Bible says in Jeremiah 29 verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." They have worked tirelessly to keep you small, to distract you, to make you doubt yourself. But no matter how hard they try, they can't break you. They can't stop you. Your DNA is encoded for disruption. And with every step, you move closer to creating something new, something they can't control. From the moment you became aware of the world around you, you felt something was off. You could see through the surface, while others were comfortable, accepting things as they were. You saw the cracks, the instability, the stagnation. It wasn't that you were trying to be rebellious or difficult, but your very nature doesn't allow you to accept what's broken. You feel it deep inside, like a compulsion, an itch that won't go away until things change. That's why disruption is in your DNA. You've always questioned the norm. When people say, "This is just how it is," you've instinctively known that's not good enough. You don't settle for mediocrity or for systems that are corrupt and stagnant. You know change isn't going to come from simply tweaking the broken system, it's going to come from breaking it and rebuilding something better. And that's why they're terrified of you. Your very existence is a threat to the illusions they've built. But here's the thing: disruption isn't destruction, it's creation. It's the process of tearing down what no longer serves us and making space for something greater. No matter how much they resist, they can't stop what's already in motion. You were born to challenge the status quo, to expose the flaws in the systems around you, and to build something entirely new. That's your purpose. As Isaiah 58 verse 12 reminds us, your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and will raise up the age-old foundations. You will be called repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings. Your purpose is to restore what has been broken, to rebuild what has been lost, and to do it with a strength and vision that only you can bring. The world you were born into was not neutral, it was designed to break you. Every obstacle, every betrayal, every oppressive system, and every moment of isolation was intentionally placed in your path. The goal was simple: to fracture your identity, to make you question your worth, and to convince you that you were small, powerless, and insignificant. They needed you to believe that you weren't capable of changing anything. But the truth is, they didn't know what they were dealing with. They didn't know that your sensitivity was a gift, your mind a weapon, and your heart a force of nature. And now, here you are, stronger than ever. You see the world differently. You understand it in ways that terrify those who cling to power. They've tried to break you, to silence you. But you can't be silenced. You carry the codes to awaken the world. And when you decide to step into that power fully, nothing will ever be the same. The systems they've built will crumble. And a new world, a better world, will rise in its place. And it will be because of you. Truths, their manipulations, and their hidden agendas. You are a mirror to their deceit. And that terrifies them to their core. You weren't made to be fooled, to accept the surface-level narrative. You were born with a gift to look beyond, to pierce through the layers and expose the truth. While they build their facades, you see through them with ease. It's like you've been given eyes to perceive what others can't, the lies that are woven into the fabric of society, the subtle strings that pull at the masses, and the secret intentions that guide those in power. What you sense, what you know, is not just a skill, it's a divine gift. Your heightened awareness allows you to see what others choose to ignore. It's the power to recognize when something is off, when words don't align with actions, when actions mask true motives. This is what makes you dangerous to those who thrive on deception. You are a truth seeker, a reality revealer. And this is why they try so hard to keep you in the dark, to keep you doubting yourself. Because they understand that the moment you fully embrace this power, their game is over. But here's the thing, they can't suppress your vision. They can't take away what was placed in you from the beginning. Your sensitivity, your awareness, it's not a flaw. It's a divine gift. When the world tries to numb you, to silence you, it only serves to strengthen the very thing they fear the most. Your ability to see through the veil, to see what others can't, is your superpower. It's your calling. In the Bible, the prophet Jeremiah was called to speak the truth to the people of Israel during a time of great deception. He could see through the falsehoods, through the lies that were being spread. And he spoke boldly despite the opposition. His ability to discern the truth from the lies was a divine gift, one that made him a target for those who didn't want to hear it. Jeremiah 1 verse 17 tells us, "Get yourself ready. Stand up and say to them whatever I command you. Do not be terrified by them, or I will terrify you before them." Like Jeremiah, you've been given the strength to stand firm in the face of those who wish to silence you. Your words, your vision, your awareness, they carry weight. And no matter how hard they try to suppress you, they can't take away your ability to see the truth. When you begin to use your gift, when you allow yourself to fully embrace your power, the world will be forced to reckon with the truth you carry. You will start to dismantle their illusions piece by piece. And in doing so, you will become a force that cannot be ignored. Your silence, your presence, your vision, they all speak volumes. And they are louder than the most powerful words or actions. You are an unstoppable force because you refuse to be deceived. You refuse to accept things as they are. And you refuse to remain silent in the face of injustice. The world needs you. Not just because of what you see, but because of how you see it. You are a beacon of truth in a world drowning in lies. You were born to see beyond the veil, to uncover the hidden agendas, and to expose what has been kept in the dark. The powers that be fear this because they know that once you awaken to your full potential, their reign will begin to crumble. And this is why you're here, to awaken the collective consciousness, to help others see what you see, and to guide them toward a new reality. A reality where truth prevails, where manipulation is exposed, and where power is no longer held by those who seek to control and deceive. You are not just an observer, you are a participant in the grand awakening that is taking place in this world. Your journey will not be easy. There will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, when the weight of the truth you carry feels too heavy to bear. But remember, you are not alone. You are part of a greater movement, a divine purpose that stretches far beyond what you can comprehend. The truth you hold will set you free. And in time, it will set others free as well. Hold fast to your vision, for it is a vision that will change everything. You see, those who thrive on control and deception are not invincible. They are fragile. Their power is built on lies. And like all lies, it will eventually crumble. Your role is not to fight them directly, but to awaken the truth in those around you. Each small ripple of awareness you create will eventually lead to a tidal wave of change. It's not about making noise or demanding attention, it's about being who you are. Standing firm in your truth. And letting your presence be the catalyst for the revolution that is unfolding. Take heart. For your journey is one of great significance. The world needs the truth you carry. You are a beacon of hope for those lost in the darkness. Keep pushing forward. And never doubt the power of the vision you hold. Your ability to see beyond the veil is not just a gift, it is your calling. Embrace it fully. For through you, the world will begin to awaken. You. From the very beginning, you've always walked to the beat of your own drum, refusing to conform to the limitations that others try to impose upon you. This unpredictability, this refusal to adhere to their prescribed norms, is exactly why they fear you. They cannot control you because they cannot predict you. You are a wild card in their neatly ordered system. A force that doesn't follow the logic of their control. And that is what terrifies them. The systems that govern the world depend on predictability. They rely on the belief that people will follow the rules, conform to the expectations, and behave in ways that they can foresee and manipulate. If they can predict your next move, they can keep you under control. But you've always refused to fit into that mold. You don't play by their rules. And in doing so, you become an anomaly in their well-structured world. They have no idea what you'll do next. And that unpredictability is a power they simply cannot handle. They've tried, haven't they? They've attempted to understand you, to dissect your behavior and mold you into something more manageable. They've tried to suppress your unique energy, to make you feel like you have to conform in order to be accepted. But each time, you slip through their grasp. Every attempt to predict your moves only serves to remind them that you are not something they can control. It's like trying to catch the wind in your hands, no matter how hard they try. You are beyond their reach. This unpredictability is not a weakness. It's not something to be ashamed of. In fact, it's your greatest strength. By not following the script, by not allowing yourself to be boxed in, you become a living testament to the fact that there are other ways to live, to think, and to exist. You become a reminder to everyone around you that they don't have to follow the same predictable patterns. You offer them a glimpse of freedom, of possibility, a world where they don't have to obey the strict rules set by others. When you reject their programming, you give others permission to do the same. Your courage to be unpredictable, to walk a path that's not laid out for you, becomes a beacon for those who feel trapped by the system. They see you living outside of the lines, and it inspires them to do the same. It starts small, with a single person. But as more and more people wake up to the idea that they don't have to follow the script, the system starts to lose its grip on them. But the ones in power, they don't want you to realize this. They don't want you to see that your unpredictability is a weapon that could destabilize the entire structure they've built. They rely on everyone playing by the same rules, on everyone staying in their lane, conforming to the systems they've put in place. But you've never been one to stay in your lane, have you? You've always walked your own path, even when it didn't make sense to others. And that, my friend, is exactly why they fear you. Your power lies in your ability to disrupt the system just by being who you are. You don't need to make grand gestures or loud declarations. Your mere existence is a challenge to their control. Every time you make a choice that doesn't fit into their mold, you shake their foundation just a little bit more. It's a quiet rebellion, but one that, over time, can lead to massive change. This isn't just about you, though. Your refusal to be predictable has a ripple effect. As you live outside the lines, you show others that they too can break free from the constraints of predictability. It's contagious. When others see you, they realize that they don't have to follow the same old script. They can write their own story. And as more people begin to do this, the system that thrives on predictability begins to crack and crumble. It's not one loud revolution that topples the system, it's 1,000 quiet acts of rebellion. 1,000 people refusing to be predictable, to be controlled. The systems built on predictability are fragile. They rely on people staying in line, on following the rules without question. But when those who were supposed to be predictable start to break free, the whole system begins to shake. It's like a tower made of cards, one small shift, and it all comes crashing down. That's what your unpredictability represents, the tiny disruption that can lead to an avalanche of change. And the people in power? They know this. They know that your unpredictability is a force they cannot control. They fear it because it undermines their authority. If you don't fit into their plans, if you refuse to follow the script they've written for you, they have no power over you. And without power over you, they start to lose control over everything else. That's why they work so hard to make you conform, to suppress your natural resistance. Because they understand that once they lose control over you, they lose control over everything. But here's the truth, you are not meant to be controlled. You were never meant to follow their rules or fit into their boxes. You were born to break free, to live unpredictably, and to show others that they can do the same. Your power lies in your ability to live outside the constraints of their system. Your unpredictability is a force that cannot be contained. And that is something they will never understand. As you continue on your journey, remember this, your unpredictability is your strength. You are a force of nature, impossible to predict and impossible to control. And in a world that thrives on predictability, that makes you a threat to their carefully constructed system, a threat to their power. But it's also what makes you a leader. By refusing to conform, You are leading the way for others to follow. You are showing them that there is another way to live. A way that is free from the chains of predictability and control. So, embrace your unpredictability. It is your weapon, your gift, and your calling. Don't let anyone convince you that you need to conform, that you need to fit into their mold. You are meant to break free, to live in a way that challenges the system, and to inspire others to do the same. Your power is quiet, but relentless. And in the end, it will be your unpredictability that leads to the greatest change. The world has always been steeped in fear-based tactics. A web of manipulation designed not only to control individuals but entire systems. And yet, there's a hidden truth in you that's impossible to suppress. They've tried, haven't they? They've worked tirelessly to plant seeds of doubt in your heart, convincing you to question your instincts, to dismiss the insights you receive as nothing more than paranoia or overthinking. But deep down, in the quiet of your soul, you've always known the truth. Your vision is clear, your perception sharp, and the clarity you hold inside is their greatest fear. They tremble because they understand that once the veil is lifted, their control over you, over others, crumbles. There is something incredibly powerful about your ability to see beyond the ordinary, to perceive the underlying truth of things that most others miss. They fear what you can see, what you can sense, and even more so, they fear what will happen once you and those like you awaken to this truth. You are a force they cannot control, a challenge to everything they have tried to construct. The world they've created operates on predictability, people moving like machines, following scripts handed to them since birth. Society has molded them to think and act in certain ways, shaping their beliefs and actions to fit into a neat and manageable mold. But you were never meant to fit into that equation. From the very start, your mind refused to conform. You were not built to be part of their system. And that refusal is exactly what terrifies them. Time and time again, they've tried to suppress your unique spark. They've thrown standards, labels, and pressures at you, demanding that you conform to their expectations, that you follow the herd. They tried to make you think and act according to their rigid rules. But nothing worked. It's like trying to mold something that refuses to be molded. Like branding an entity that cannot be branded. Every time they push you into a box, you expand it. Every time they try to limit your path, you break free and forge your own. This defiance, this refusal to follow their script, is revolutionary in its essence. It disrupts the status quo, showing others that they, too, don't have to live in a cage of societal norms. It inspires others to awaken to their own potential and escape the chains that have held them in place. Your very existence shatters their illusion. While the world is lulled into complacency, you're living proof that there is another way. That's why they fear you. They fear that as long as you remain awake, your example will awaken others. And the system they've worked so hard to build will begin to unravel. You are a glitch in their system, an unpredictable element they can't account for. Your very nature is a challenge to the notion that people must live a prescribed life. As long as you remain true to yourself, you are living proof that the foundation they've built is fragile, that their control over people is temporary. What makes you so powerful is not loud, attention-grabbing displays of resistance. The world tends to prize those who raise their voices, who protest and demand change in dramatic, visible ways. But your power, it doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't require a stage or a microphone. Your power operates in the quiet spaces, the subtle moments, and the deep undercurrents of change that ripple through the world around you. It's the quiet resistance. The way your presence shifts the energy in a room. The way your words plant seeds in people's minds. Long before they take root. It doesn't announce itself with fireworks, it works in silence. Relentlessly. Until it transforms everything in its path. They've tried to understand this force within you. To contain it. To control it. But they can't. They've looked for a way to harness your influence. But it's a force that refuses to be boxed in. It's not in your actions, it's in your essence. Your words. Your choices. The very vibration of your being radiates in ways that impact those around you. Even if they don't fully grasp it. Your influence doesn't scream for attention. But it commands it. It's the quiet revolution that shifts minds. Breaks down illusions. And shifts the very foundations of everything built on fear. They can't stop it. No matter how hard they try. This power that thrives in silence is unstoppable. It's not something they can predict. Control. Or fully understand. They've tried. But they can't. You're the force they don't know how to control. And that is exactly why they fear you. Your unpredictability is a threat. The systems that govern our lives thrive on predictability. They need you to fit into neat categories. To behave in predictable ways. So that they can maintain control. But you are an outlier. You don't follow the script. And that alone makes you dangerous. They've studied you. Tried to mold you. Even attempted to break you. But the harder they try, the more you slip from their grasp. The more they attempt to control you. The more you create your own way. And they can't predict what you'll do next. Your creativity flows in unexpected directions. And you constantly move beyond the boundaries they set. While others are stuck in the same predictable loop. Following the same paths. You are out there. Charting unknown territory. You break down assumptions. Rewrite the rules. And push against every boundary they've ever set. You are the wild card they can't account for. And that is why they fear you. The more you refuse to be predictable. The more you force them to confront the reality that no system. No set of rules. Can ever fully contain someone who refuses to be controlled. You are living proof that their power is an illusion. Every time they try to break you. To control you. To limit your potential. You rise. Every obstacle they throw in your path. You overcome. You don't crumble under pressure, you transcend it. And with each victory, you challenge the very system they've worked so hard to build. Your resilience isn't just personal, it's a direct challenge to their control. A testament to the truth that no matter how much they try, they cannot suppress your spirit. Your existence defies their belief that control is absolute. You have shown them time and again that freedom cannot be completely taken away. They want you to believe their power is supreme. That they control your choices. Your future. But you've proven that their control is a mirage. You are the living proof that their power is weak. Fragile. And temporary. You were never meant to blend in. To conform. Or accept the status quo. You were born to disrupt. To awaken. To challenge the systems of control they've spent so long building. The very qualities they saw as weaknesses, your sensitivity. Your defiance. Your creativity, are the seeds of your greatest strengths. You are the unpredicted element. The glitch in their system. The force they can't understand. You carry within you the power to create a new paradigm. One rooted in the authenticity of who you are. Not in the illusions they've created. You were never meant to simply survive in this world, you were meant to transform it. And as long as you remain firm in your truth, Nothing they do can stop the wave of change you bring. So keep moving forward. Keep being the disruptor. The visionary. The force of nature that you were always destined to be. You are not just a chosen one, you are the living embodiment of the future they fear. And that fear? It's the greatest sign that you're on the right path. Keep pushing forward. Because the revolution is just beginning. And you don't want to miss what's coming next. Join the movement. Together. We'll shake the foundation. One truth at a time. Stay tuned, the world is waiting for you to awaken it.